My cheating husband thought he was meeting his mistress. He met his wife, his boss, and his mother instead. I sat at table 4 of Bernardin, swirling a glass of 2018 Pinot Noir that cost more than my weekly grocery budget, watching the front door with the patience of a sniper waiting for a target to cross the crosshairs. The restaurant hummed with the low, expensive murmur of Manhattan's elite, the clink of silver against china, the soft rustle of silk, the hushed negotiations of power and romance. It was Friday, February 13th, 2026, Mistress Day, the day unfaithful men take out their side pieces because they have to play the role of the devoted husband tomorrow, on the actual holiday. I checked my watch, 6:58 p.m. He was late, which was typical. Mark was always late, usually blaming traffic or a crisis at the firm, but tonight I knew exactly why he was lagging. He was probably in the car, checking his hair in the rearview mirror, spritzing on that cologne I bought him for Christmas, and practicing the lies he was about to feed the woman waiting for him. He thought that woman was Jessica. He had no idea that the woman sitting in the high-backed velvet chair, sipping his favorite vintage and chatting with the sommelier, was his wife of 7 years. My phone buzzed on the white linen tablecloth. It wasn't a text from him. It was a notification from the smart home security system I had installed 3 months ago without his knowledge. Front door locked. Good. The movers had finished. By the time Mark tried to go home tonight, if he even tried, he would find that his key no longer fit the lock and his clothes were neatly packed in garbage bags on the front porch of his mother's house. But the locks were just the housekeeping. The real demolition was about to happen right here, over a tasting menu he couldn't afford. It started 6 hours ago. I was in the kitchen, marinara sauce bubbling on the stove, prepping for a quiet night alone because Mark had texted me at noon saying he had to pull an all-nighter for the Peterson account. I believed him. I always believed him. I was the wife who packed him extra vitamins and left love notes in his briefcase. Then, the iPad on the counter lit up. It wasn't our usual iPad. It was his new company-issued device, the one he had brought home yesterday and carelessly tossed onto the kitchen island. He had logged into his Apple ID to download some apps, but in his arrogance, or maybe just his stupidity, he had enabled family sharing and synced the calendars. Ding. A notification banner slid down the screen, bright and innocent against the background photo of our dog. Calendar event, 7 p.m. dinner at Bernardin, table 4, with Jessica Redheart. I stared at the screen. The wooden spoon in my hand dripped red sauce onto the pristine quartz counter, but I didn't move to wipe it up. I couldn't move. My brain was trying to process the words, rearranging them, trying to find a benign interpretation. Maybe Jessica was a client, maybe it was a work dinner, but the heart emoji. You don't put a heart emoji next to a client's name. And you don't take a client to Bernardin, specifically to table 4. Table 4 was where he proposed to me. It was our spot. We went there every anniversary. We saved for months to afford it. It was sacred ground, and he was taking her there. On Mistress Day, I felt the heat rising in my neck, a prickly, suffocating sensation that started at my collarbone and crawled up behind my ears. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't heartbreak. It was a cold, hard rage that settled in my gut like a stone. I unlocked the iPad. I knew the passcode. 123456. He was a man of simple patterns. I opened the calendar. I scrolled. February 14th, family dinner, 6 p.m. Bernardin with Emma. I laughed. It was a dry, jagged sound that echoed in the empty kitchen. He had booked back-to-back reservations at the same restaurant, at the same table, 24 hours apart. He was going to sit in that chair tonight, hold her hand, look into her eyes, and then come back tomorrow and do the exact same thing with me. He was recycling the romance. He was economizing his betrayal. What happens in the next 5 minutes isn't just a confrontation. It is a meticulously choreographed demolition of a man's entire existence. I have a trap which isn't just set. It would be baited with poison, and Mark will be walking in with his mouth wide open. Kindly follow on-screen instructions for full version.